Books have always been powerful. They spark revolutions, change lives, and make people think, and that makes them dangerous to some. Throughout history, books have been banned not because they were bad, but because they told truths that made people uncomfortable. In this video, we're exploring 10 of the most banned books in history. We'll look at what they were about, why they were banned, and what makes them so important today. This isn't just a list, it's a journey into the heart of free thought, fear, and censorship. 1984 book. Written by George Orwell after World War II, 1984 paints a terrifying vision of a future ruled by surveillance, censorship, and fear. In this world, Big Brother sees everything. History is rewritten daily. Language is simplified so people can't even form rebellious thoughts. The book warns us how easily a free society can slide into dictatorship, not through war, but through control of information. Governments that feared losing control banned this book, particularly in authoritarian regimes, and even in some schools in democratic countries. Its themes were considered dangerous, anti-government, politically charged, and too dark. But 1984 endures because it forces us to question how we live, what freedoms we take for granted, and how fragile truth really is. The Catcher in the Rye, 1951. J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye follows a confused, lonely teenager named Holden Caulfield as he wanders through New York City, battling depression and a growing dislike for the world around him. He's angry, raw, and constantly judging the phoniness of adults. The book doesn't follow a normal plot, it's simply the mind of a boy trying to figure out life. Because of its profanity, sexual references, and rebellious attitude, it became one of the most banned books in American schools. Some even blamed the book for inspiring real-life crimes. But it struck a chord with young readers who saw themselves in Holden, someone who didn't pretend to have it all figured out, someone real. Its ban only made it more powerful as a symbol of youth rebellion. To Kill a Mockingbird, 1960. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird tells the story of a black man wrongly accused of assault in the racially divided American South. The narrator, Scout, is a young girl learning about justice, morality, and the unfairness of the world around her. Her father, Atticus Finch, stands up for what's right even when the town turns against him. The book has been banned for its strong racial themes, use of slurs, and the discomfort it causes when discussing race and inequality. But that discomfort is the point. The story holds up a mirror to society and asks tough questions. It's not just about a trial, it's about innocence, guilt, and the courage to do what's right, even when no one else will. The Satanic Verses, 1988. Written by Salman Rushdie, The Satanic Verses became one of the most controversial novels of the 20th century. It blends fantasy, religion, and politics, but one fictional dream sequence seen as referencing the Prophet Muhammad sparked outrage in Muslim communities worldwide. The backlash was massive. Iran's government issued a fatwa, effectively a death sentence, against Rushdie. Protests broke out, bookstores were attacked, and several people lost their lives. The book was banned in over a dozen countries. It raised difficult questions about freedom of speech, religious respect, and the power of storytelling. Whether seen as brave or offensive, The Satanic Verses showed how deeply words can cut and how powerful a novel can become. Lolita, 1955. Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita is one of the most controversial novels ever written. Told from the perspective of a middle-aged man who becomes obsessed with a 12-year-old girl, it forces readers to enter the mind of a predator. The language is poetic and beautiful, but the content is deeply disturbing. Many countries banned the book for its sexual themes and portrayal of child abuse. Yet, Nabokov wasn't glorifying anything, he was exposing how evil can hide behind charm and intelligence. Lolita remains uncomfortable to read, but it challenges readers to face the realities of manipulation, obsession, and the thin line between art and morality. Fahrenheit 451, 1953. In Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, firemen don't put out fires, they start them. Their job is to burn books, because books are seen as dangerous. They make people think, feel, and question. The story follows a fireman who begins to read in secret, leading him down a path of rebellion and self-discovery. Written during the rise of television and political conformity in the US, the novel was a warning against the loss of critical thinking. Ironically, it was later censored for its language and depiction of book burning. It remains one of the clearest warnings in literature. When we stop reading, we stop thinking. And when we stop thinking, we become easy to control. The Diary of Anne Frank, 1947. Anne Frank's diary is not fiction. It's a real record of a Jewish girl hiding from the Nazis in Amsterdam during World War II. She writes about fear, love, boredom, hope, and the daily struggle to survive in a hidden attic. Tragically, Anne was captured and died in a concentration camp. Her diary was later published by her father, the only surviving member of their family. Despite being a deeply human and historical account, the book has been banned in various places. Some objected to Anne's descriptions of her body during puberty, others claimed the book was too depressing, and shockingly, some even denied its truth. But Anne's words humanize the horrors of war and show the resilience of a young girl who never stopped dreaming, even while surrounded by death. Brave New World, 1932. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World imagines a future where everything is easy, but nothing is real. In this society, people are genetically engineered, drugged into happiness, and conditioned not to question anything. There's no war, no suffering, and no freedom. Babies are created in labs, families don't exist, and emotions are controlled. The book was banned for its sexual themes, anti-religious messages, and critiques of modern life. But it stands as a chilling reminder that sometimes, comfort can be more dangerous than chaos. Brave New World warns that if we trade freedom for pleasure, we may lose what makes us truly human. Beloved, 1987. Toni Morrison's Beloved tells the story of a former enslaved woman haunted by her past and by the ghost of her child. The novel deals with slavery's deep psychological wounds, showing how trauma passes through generations. It's poetic, emotional, and brutally honest. But because of its graphic depictions of violence, sexual abuse, and intense emotion, it was removed from many school reading lists. Critics said it was too disturbing for students. But Beloved matters because it refuses to let readers look away. It brings the pain of slavery to the surface, not as a distant history, but as something deeply personal and human. The Color Purple, 1982. Alice Walker's The Color Purple follows Celie, a black woman in the rural American South, as she survives years of abuse, racism, and silence. Through letters she writes to God, and later to her sister, we watch her grow from voiceless to powerful. The novel covers hard topics: incest, domestic violence, sexuality, which led to it being banned in many schools. Some called it too explicit, others said it was anti-family. But it's a story of healing, identity, and sisterhood. The Color Purple reminds us that even the most oppressed voices can rise and sing. Banned books challenge the rules. They question authority, push boundaries, and force us to think. That's why they're banned, not because they're dangerous, but because they speak truths that some people don't want to hear. But every time a book is banned, it tells us something. Someone is afraid of the story inside. These 10 books weren't just read, they were fought over. And that's what makes them matter even more. So, which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more storytelling like this, explained simply and powerfully, make sure to subscribe.